Hello Gemini, welcome to August. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers and to all my long-term subscribers. Thank you for tuning in and watching. I love doing these videos for all my stars, so hope you enjoy them. We're in the middle of eclipse season right now, and we had a full total lunar eclipse on July 27th. We also had a new moon partial solar eclipse back in the middle of July on July 12th. And now we have another new moon partial solar eclipse on August 11th coming up. And that's in Leo, so that's happening in your third house, Gemini. And eclipses, the function of eclipses is that they bring what's below the surface, potentially what's in the unconscious or the subconscious, and they bring it above the conscious to be seen so that we can see our blind spots. We can see where we may have shadow aspects. And for you, Gemini, this is happening in your third house of communication. So what you may be having an opportunity, because that's another word for eclipses, is to see where in your communication you can do something new, or if you want to say things in different ways, or you can even just observe your speech right around now and see, okay, is this how I want to be communicating? Is this clear, direct thought and words that I'm using? So that's an opportunity with your third house. We also have 5 planets in retrograde, so it may have been feeling since the past few months that things are a little bit slower than usual. Things aren't going forward as easily or as quickly. And 2 of those planets are Mars and Mercury that are in retrograde. So Mars in particular governs action and the will and going forward, taking action on things, you know, our desires. And Mercury being in retrograde, it also governs communication. So it might be a really good time, Gemini, to watch your words. And it's also a fantastic time, if any of you are writers, it's a fantastic time to review things for editing, proofreading, all that kind of stuff. You really will catch the details better in a retrograde because that's supportive of editing, the action of editing, rather than the forward creative movement of the writing itself. So really good time to revise, review, even just recharge and renew. Those are all Mercury retrograde supported aspects. Whenever we pause and go backwards and go over old things, sometimes things from our past show up during Mercury retrograde as well. So you may be looking over how you communicated something in the past and have an opportunity to do a redo, especially as we get this new moon, you know, opportunity to do something new, begin something new, or initiate something in Leo in your third house, which also Leo governs creativity. So really cool stuff there. If any of you want to be songwriters or are songwriters or poets, again, just authors, anything having to do with the written word or communication or speech, lecturing, all of that stuff is featured for you right now with this Mercury retrograde in Leo. So let's see what's coming up for the cards for you for August. I'm doing Celtic crosses this month, so I'm just changing it up a little bit. I'm just feeling those. I see that a central focus is 10 of Wands in reverse, and that's crossed by the challenge card of King of Swords. This is you, Gemini. So, or it could potentially be another air sign. It could be a Libra or an Aquarius, but I usually read when they come up in the central focus for you here. I'm reading this as you. What's at the root is Queen of Cups in reverse. Passing away is 2 of Swords. I like that there for you. That's passing away of stagnancy or indecision. I'll talk more about that when I get to it. Opportunity, Ace of Cups. Love that. New beginning of love, creativity, joy, something that fills your cup, fills your heart. Approaching energies are 6 of Coins. You in the situation are Chariot. Your environment is represented by 3 of Swords in reverse. hopes and fears is 8 of Swords, and potential outcome is 3 of Coins. The bottom of the deck here is 5 of Coins in reverse. So let's take a look at this, Gemini, and see what it's telling us. I'm just going to adjust this down a little bit, just to bring that a little bit better into focus for you. Okay, so the central issue is that you may have been carrying a lot of burdens, feeling oppressed, feeling tired, weighted down. 10 of Wands is usually when we're carrying more than our fair share of things, when we're carrying more than we need to. There may be some old excess baggage, but with this in reverse, I see you lightening this load, or you may have some fear, doubt, or resistance to letting go of some things. 10 is a completion. So try to remove any fear, doubt, or resistance that you have to letting go of what's not necessary. What do you no longer need to carry? What road have you been toiling on that you can sort of put some of your extra burdens or extra weight down, Gemini? That's really going to help you this month. And I think part of it may have to do with being really honest with yourself. And this is King of Swords, and he carries the sword of the truth. So it's maybe being honest with yourself and others. That could be challenging, as well as King of Swords is usually the master of authority of the mind. So being wise, making good decisions, being truthful and honest and just. Is there a way in which you're tired of being the one who's in charge, the one who has to make the decisions, Gemini? Because this is what's crossing you, is wise decision making. And maybe you're struggling with what things to cut out and what things to keep. You know, there's that quote that I think it was Muhammad Ali said, that it's not the mountain that gets you, it's the pebble in your shoe. And this can be like carrying things that feel burdensome, feel like I'm doing too much, and I don't know what it is that I can cut out. I don't know what it is that I can leave behind, or I don't know how to say it to the person being a good manager, because King of Swords is also a good, fair, just manager. I don't know as a Gemini how to say to this other person, okay, well, that's your share and this is mine. So there's some sort of challenge within your decision making or your authority over what it is that you're going to be responsible for and what is someone else's responsibility. That's what I'm seeing with those two cards. At the root of this, there is a lack of trusting your inner guidance, your inner emotions, your feelings. This is Queen of Cups. This could potentially be a water sign person that you're at odds with right now. This may be the person that it feels like they're putting their burdens upon you. So this could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio that you're not seeing eye to eye with right now, or that they're not showing up as their normal selves. But this could also be a representation of you, Gemini, where you're not leading with your heart. Queen of Cups is all about intuition, being compassionate, considering other people's feelings, you know, considering where other people are coming from, and really trusting your own emotions and your own gut feelings about things to make decisions on stuff. So it may be that you're not implementing your emotions and what you truly feel into your decision making. You may be thinking, okay, well, I have to be the responsible one. I have to make all these decisions. I have to be the one in charge. I'd like you to consider, as your opportunity this month, what makes your heart overflow? What brings you joy? What brings you unlimited happiness? This is the card called My Cup Runneth Over, and it's an ace, so it's a new beginning. It's sort of what I'm getting here, the storyline is to say, if you can clear out extra burdens, extra clutter, extra things that just feel like dead weight to you and like oppression, things that feel like they're too much to carry, too much to handle. If you can clear that away by using the sage wisdom of King of Swords, which is an archetype for you, Gemini, if you can employ your intellect clearly and strongly, and even especially with that new opportunity for using language in a very specific, clear, direct way, you may be able to say, okay, this is not mine. This is not mine to carry, this is yours. Or I'm not willing to carry this any longer. That's what I'm seeing happening, and it's making room for this, which is maybe being, you know, unhappy or unsatisfied or having your emotions be a little out of whack, to making room for, I want to do what my heart is calling me to do. I want to begin this new thing that I love, that fills me up. This is the root of your situation, is that your cup is empty here when it's in reverse. This is your opportunity, which is to have your cup be full. So that's what I'm seeing as the sort of dichotomy between what's going on right now and what your opportunity is. And it really has to do with your decision making regarding what you're going to keep and what you're going to cut out in terms of your actions and your responsibilities. What I like about this is what's passing away is a certain amount of indecision. You may have felt stuck, or that you didn't know which way to go, left or right, or make a decision, do I want this one or do I want that one? So you may have just checked out, and this card is called willfully blind sometimes. So there's a way in which you might have just been in avoidance mode or conflict avoidance, and therefore you're picking up the extra pieces, or you've been like taking on more than is yours just because you wanted to keep the peace. But around this new moon, partial solar eclipse on August 11th, I'm seeing you moving on from that. I'm seeing you, you know, potentially choosing one of those swords, becoming the authority. And the difference between these two cards is that this person is stuck. They don't know which one to choose. They don't know which one is the truth. They don't know which one will bring them happiness. They just stay very stuck. He's very deliberate in his thoughts, his language, and his action. He uses logic and analysis and really weighs the pros and cons of things, and therefore is to take action. So I really like the possibility of you moving on from this stagnancy to making clear, decisive decisions, you know, clear decisions. And then what follows from that is a certain amount of equity, justice, fairness. This card, Six of Coins, is about not only generosity, but getting paid what you're worth, getting equal, fair, balanced exchanges, whether that's in money transactions, whether that's in your job, or whether that's in your relationships. It's just things being fair and equitable. And that's what I see also, the difference between this card and this card as you proceed forward using your intellect, using your logic and analysis is, you know, we can cut out these projects. We can cut out half of this, and then things will be fair and equitable. Here's what I am willing to carry. Here's what I am responsible for versus what I'm not. And then things all of a sudden feel balanced, and you feel like, you know, riches are coming in. So it's really dependent upon your decision making and your whatever's feeling stagnant or held back in terms of making that decision or even seeing the options before you, that's going to be passing away, Gemini. So I really love this kind of combination or balance between heart energy, going from feeling like your cup may be empty to allowing your heart to guide what you want to initiate, what you want to begin, to it's also juxtaposed with, you know, decision making, thinking things through clearly, deciding, okay, I want this, I don't want that. I want to invest in this, I don't want to invest in that. I want to, you know, have this give and take situation. And so that's what you're doing, is you're making decisions that allow you to have something that feels very fair, very equitable, very balanced, as opposed to feeling like you're carrying too much and you can't do it anymore. So that's all up to you. You have the authority to say it, to say this is what the truth is, this is where my boundary is, this is what's fair and just. That's what King of Swords does. You in this situation, you know, you have one of the best cards for success and victory. This is the Chariot. It's moving on. This one is trusting your intuition. You know, maybe if you have been in a place where you're not considering your heart, your opportunity is to invite your heart to guide you in your decision making, and that's what this guy does. You know, he's got these new moon symbols here, just as she does. She's got one here, that really show that they're trusting their intuition. So you're going from a place maybe of not considering your own feelings in the situation to trusting your instincts, trusting your gut feelings. This is a balance of not only the logical mind, but also the creative, irrational mind. It's a balance of left brain and right brain. So it's also not a domination of just thought, but emotion as well. And that's where I'm kind of saying this really makes sense for you this month as a balancing of heart energy and swords energy, which is thinking. So left brain and right brain working together. And when those two things work together, the chariot knows exactly which way to go at any moment. He knows when to trust his instincts, and he knows when to trust his mind. It's really a balance of head and heart. And so this card is a great card of success and victory because he's adaptable, he's able to trust his instincts, and he's able to make decisions on that road that he's on to know how to cross that finish line. So I'm seeing a lot of success. I'm seeing a lot of really good judgment here, a lot of knowing how to get where it is that you want to get. These two work really well. You know, the reason that King of Swords succeeds is because he makes good decisions with the mind. And the reason Chariot is one of the ultimate cards of success and victory is that not only does Chariot employ the use of the mind, like King of Swords does, but also of the heart. Also of that right brain, passionate, creative, wild, irrational side. So there's a nice merging for you this month of those two things. Maybe if you've been a little bit dominated by thought, try to invite this heart energy in. That's your opportunity, and it can lead you to very good places, Gemini. Then your environment. You may be coming out of some sort of heartbreak, betrayal, loss, grief. This is when this card, Three of Swords, appears in reverse. You know, it's sort of like saying you're taking these thoughts out to heal your heart. And it's a very interesting thing for you too with this reading because it is a merging of the mental element, which was the swords element, and the heart element, which we see here. This is an unhealthy juxtaposition of the two. This is when the mind, as represented by the swords, is trying to rule the show. It's trying to pierce the heart. You know, it's saying that the mind matters more, the heart doesn't matter. So with this in reverse, I'm going to ask you, what thoughts, beliefs, or ideas do you need to pull out of your heart? How much is, in order for it to heal, how much is your mind and the thoughts that you're thinking keeping your heart in a place where it can't heal? This is an opportunity to let these things slide out or to pull these out so that your heart can heal. Because what one of your fears is that you may get so surrounded by your thoughts that you just become immobilized. That's going back to this energy. You can see how similar these cards are. This is an over-domination of the mind in sort of both cases. This is, you can see how they're both blindfolded. They can't see because you have to rely on your heart for that in many ways. This is stagnancy, and this is just utter powerlessness. So I think there may be some parts where you're afraid that you almost don't want to let go of your thoughts, or that you may be creating too many of them, which ends up becoming a prison for yourself, that you become immobilized by, you know, overthinking something so much that you kind of end up as a captive on your own. There's no one else here. In both of these cards, there's just one person. So that's going to be, you know, I don't know if it's a warning, but it's going to be an opportunity for you to see that sometimes the mind, if left unchecked, can be a horrible master. There's that cliche of the mind is a wonderful servant, but a horrible master. Your invitation of more heart energy in Gemini is really going to balance you out and take you forward to wonderful places. And I see growth as your potential outcome here. This is Three of Coins, which means growth on a fundamental level. It can be material rewards, like financial rewards. Sometimes I think of this card as multiple streams of income. It's working on something and building something, and it often involves several people. So it can mean working on group projects that bring you joy, that bring you growth. I'm actually seeing like maybe you're starting a new project that you love with someone else. It's kind of getting out of your head and getting busy. And maybe this doesn't happen for you until after this new moon partial solar eclipse in Leo in the middle of the month. But I'm seeing forward movement happening that's going to reward you with something that's fair and balanced and equitable. Maybe it's bringing in money from a side project or a side job. It's also you coming out of feeling financially at a loss. So there's some good money cards here coming in too. The sense that I'm getting, because this is your future placement and this is your possible outcome, is that as you balance good decision making with your heart, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you're going to trust about your right brain contributing to the left brain decisions? You know, following that passionate, wild, irrational, creative side. Both of these cards can be creative as well. So what is it that these two things, the mind and the heart coming together, allowing for that heart energy, can bring you? They can bring you wonderful returns in the physical world, wonderful results, tangible assets, things that you can see and touch, things that are fair and equal and cooperative and working with other people. So I'm liking that, Gemini. I'm seeing like as you jump out of an over-domination of mind energy and like overthinking things and feeling like you have to decide it all but not really wanting to, you know, feeling like maybe I can heal and recover from this by removing the mind aspect of it. You know, it's producing results. It's allowing you to go forward and function. It's allowing you to trust your inner intuition. You're becoming more balanced this month is what I see. And your results are there to prove it and show it, if you will allow this heart energy to come in. So that's my reading for you, Gemini, for August. I hope all of you have a wonderful August. And if you'd ever like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that down below at readingsbygwendolyn.com. If you liked this video, feel free to share it or give it a thumbs up. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching. Yours in the stars.